My name is Jonzi D, and I'm a hip hop artist, MC from back in the day. Right now, I'm doing a lot of hip hop theatre projects, and I'm here based at Sadler's Wells with my company, Jonzi D Productions, and we are chilling. Tesco's. I was getting paid £1.68 an hour. This is when I was 15, and yeah, that was just a whack job, man. When I crawled out my mum, basically, because for me, that's where all of my energy come from. Do you know what I mean? My family, because we're all performers, we're all artists and thing. And I think they were the ones that gave me my first legitimate thing. Yeah, you're an artist. You know what I mean? When it starts to get into the realms of like studying and stuff like that, I trained at London Contemporary Dance School, but I was also b-boying back in the day. But really, with the whole hip hop thing, I went more into the MC thing. And for me, when it comes to the idea of getting a break, I feel like I made my own breaks, really and truly. Nobody gave me nothing. Do you know what I mean? I went out and got what I had to get. I reckon that the first thing that put me like out there in the public eye was when I was working with MC Mello. You know what I mean? We did this tour, boy. It's a heavy tour with Gangstar, J. Rue the Damager. That was 94. We went all over Europe. We did 30 dates in like 5 weeks. And it got enough press, you know what I mean? And it was a wicked tour. It was like, the whole sex, drugs and rock and roll thing. Yeah, it's real. You know what I mean? It was a mad tour. Starts at 10 o'clock. Coming to the office right here, Sadler's Wells. Fortunately, I live just down the road, so it's all good. And I'll probably be on the phone making a couple of phone calls to anybody that wants to work on some projects and stuff in the future, or any little work stuff that needs to be addressed. I'll chat to my manager Marcel, you know what I mean, and just do some business stuff, whatever the agenda is. At the moment, I'm working on a piece called Tag, so we go straight up to the rehearsal studio, which is 5 floors up, and we've been rehearsing all day. We've got the show next week, so there's proper tents in there and stuff, but it's all good, you know what I mean, we're getting there and ting. And then usually after that, I've got interviews to do, particularly for the show coming up. On a Monday, straight up after that, I teach the hip hop theatre workshops, which is basically an open session where people come, pay £5, and just work on hip hop theatre ideas. It's more like MCs, dancers, DJs, graph artists, whatever part of hip hop you're into, is coming through, and we work on theatrical applications of the disciplines. You know what I mean? And then I'll go home at about 11 o'clock at night. Probably have to get on the computer, X amount of emails and ting. Sometimes I even, basically 12 o'clock, that's the end of my day. A lot of people use this term hip hop to basically link it with rap, R&B, and this musical form. And that's part of it. But for me, hip hop is a lot bigger than that, a lot broader than that, a lot wider than that. It encompasses the artistic disciplines of b-boying, aka breakdancing. Yeah, it encompasses artistic forums, you know what I mean, on walls everywhere that we see, graph, you know what I mean, that's part of hip hop culture. DJing, turntablism, using the turntables as an art form, that's part of hip hop culture. And obviously the MCing. Also, I'd even say like beatboxing, you know what I mean? I'd say dress is part of hip hop culture. I'd say philosophy, do you know what I mean? It's all part of hip hop as a culture, you know what I mean? So when I hear the term hip hop, I'm thinking, do you mean music, this music form, or do you mean a culture? You know what I mean? There's different meanings, but for me, hip hop is a culture. I'd say I sacrifice sleep blatantly, and I sacrifice just the time to loaf and do nothing. You know what I mean? There ain't no time for that no more. But on a deeper level, I don't feel like I've sacrificed anything. You know what I mean? Because this is just love. I love what I do. I love this hip hop thing. I love the fact that all of my time is spent on creative hip hop projects. You know what I mean? You can't wish for that. You know what I mean? There's X amount of people that might want to rhyme or do hip hop, and they're in some kind of job where they're just, pushing pens or whatever, or lifting rubble, or even, working in the office. And for me, I am not mad at my life, you know what I mean? I'm indulging in hip hop consistently. So for me, there ain't really no sacrifice. I'd say it was making lyrical theatre in 97. That was my first ever hip hop theatre show. It was uncharted territory at the time. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know of anybody exploring hip hop culture and disciplines in a theatre before. You know, so for me to see now hip hop theatre like everywhere around the world, is all the youth. That's what they want to do now, particularly in London. You know what I mean? It makes me feel really, really proud, you know what I mean? Not to say like, I started it, you know what I mean? But I remember in them days, it inspired a lot of people. I'm proud of that for the effect that it's had on the community. Oh, the Apricot Jam. Yo, I remember doing the Apricot Jam, that was like 96. And the reason why I did that is because there wasn't that many opportunities for man to be able to hold mic on some like open mic freestyle tip, you know? You had Flavor of the Month, which was dope. Big up 279 for that. That was mad gladiatorial. Battling everywhere. And me personally, I wasn't really on the battle tip too tough. I used to enjoy it and stuff, but the whole idea of getting up on stage and just getting someone dissing my mum or whatever, that's some fighting talk, do you know what I mean? So I never really got into that too tough. But all blessed for Jump Off for just running them things on that tip, you know what I mean? Big up all them MCs that do that, you know what I mean, every time. But for me, at the time, weren't on that, yeah? Apricot Jam was with a live band and open mic, and we'd have singers come through, we'd have MCs come through. It wasn't about battling, it was more about people sharing their skills, because some MCs just had some other shit that they did, you know what I mean? So it was good to be able to present that. And we had something that was like 100% natural flavour made from organically grown break beats with no artificial attitudes. You know what I mean? And that whole vibe was about positivity. We had mad girls in the house, no business. Anyone who wants to talk about the hip hop rave and getting girls in the house, it was about Apricot Jam at the time, doing proper hip hop as well, But yeah, man, that was a popular jam. We had Black Twang down there. We had Cash Crew down there, MC Mello, Verbalists, Narco T, Riddler. Boy, we had a world of MCs down there. Skinny Man, Mud Fam. It was just it was the baddest shit. When it comes to my goals now, I think it's to keep pushing and advocating this hip hop theatre thing. I'm part of a few groups, a dance task group that meets at the Arts Council regular. And basically, I'm the only hip-hop head around the table, do you know what I mean? Everybody else on some ballet, contemporary dance, whatever. So I'm there basically pushing that. Also, I actually go and mix with them devils in the government, man, DCMS. You know what I mean? Department of Culture, Music and Sport. And I go and sit down with them and just advocate dance, hip-hop dance particularly, you know what I mean? Street dance forms and the way in which they can change a community, you know what I mean? Instead of people wanting to roll in gangs, people actually want to form dance crews, you know what I mean? And given that choice, I'm going to push for that, because there's enough gangster elements going on, you know what I mean? So for me, I really want to try and push hip-hop as a vehicle for positivity, community, and success, do you know what I mean? Because this whole stuff that hip-hop is perpetuating at the moment with this quick, fast buck crime thing, it's like, yeah, they're talking about making money, but they're not really talking about how to get there, do you know what I mean? They're not talking about honing specific skills to get what you're getting at, you know what I mean? But I have to big up a man like Jay-Z, because he's on some like businessman tip, But generally, I don't know if the gun talk is really helping the youth, especially now when there's a rise in gun crime. They're talking about it falling, but just recently, a couple youths get shot up in South London, you know what I mean? We got to make changes now, So for me, that's where that's the purpose of me being here now, Through the art form, we have to make a difference. Life is all about taking risks, you know what I mean? Because you can't push an art form unless you take risks. And sometimes you will mess up, you know what I mean? And, we know about them people that are messed up trying to think. But for me, that's life, On a business level, you got to speculate to accumulate. Anybody in business school must have heard that, you know what I mean? You got to take risks, But at the same time, you got to be wise and know when to play it safe. when you're trying to get some funding for some stuff and people are trying to tell you that nah, this, that, and then keep you hanging, you know. Yeah, I've dealt with them, you know what I mean? And at the moment, things are moving along nice. You know what I mean? I'm not really a materialistic man that needs X amount of dollars to, like, you know, spend on flash cars and thing. I just need money to make the projects work and to make sure that my pockets is lined decently and the people that I'm working with are getting paid as well. A lot of the obstacles have come through actually like health, do you know what I mean? You know, sickness, you know, not feeling well, do you know what I mean? And you've got this big project coming up and then you have to go to the hospital for whatever reason, you know what I mean? I snapped my Achilles tendon a year ago. But you know what? A month later, I was out there, you know? Some of the biggest obstacles come in the form of other people, you know what I mean? People that you're working with who ain't pulling their weight, do you know what I mean? And sometimes you're working with your boy, you know what I mean? Someone who you love as a brethren and you want to bring them in and they ain't pulling their weight. And then, you know, personal stuff can get involved in any progression that you want to make, you know? And you got to know whether to cut them off as a business person and retain a friendship. That could be really difficult. Politics, but like, not politics, because actually if you keep seeing politics, and I like that bollocks part of politics, you know what I mean, because we can start talking about that in rhymes. See, I come from that tradition of like Public Enemy, you know what I mean, them mans used to really inspire me. KRS-One, you know what I mean, Rakim, the golden age of this hip hop shit, man. You know what I mean? Them mans inspired me. You know, Poor Righteous Teachers. There was a time in hip hop where you couldn't come out with an album unless you had some political agenda. Do you know what I mean? And yes, some people said it got a little bit samey, whatever. But for me, it had a direct result in the community. People were reading more. Do you know what I mean? People were thinking conscious. You know, whatever that means. You know, people weren't trying to shoot each other up as much as they're trying to do now, you know. So that was really inspiring. And working off that, man like Malcolm X, you know, man like Bernie Grant, you know what I mean, repping the UK, you know. Yeah, man, I'd say also on another level, like theatre, you know. I've been checking some stuff like this geezer Wim van der Kabels. He does this abstract theatre stuff. And it's on some next level tip. It's some mad stuff. He's just dashing big concrete slabs all over the place and people running, catching them and stuff. And that's kind of influencing a lot of some of my ideas as well. But yeah, man, I've got some really wide ranging stuff. Alice Coltrane, man, that sister, and obviously her husband John Coltrane, they was on some other shit in the late 60s. So I'm really feeling the music they was on. I'm feeling Project Blowed, you know what I mean, from San Francisco. I'm feeling... Boy, there's just too many to go on, you know. What turns me off is the whack shit, you know. People who ain't working at their artistry. People that come out with that formulaic bullshit, yeah. That bores me, you know. People that use this artistry, you know, or this hip-hop way just to make money, do you know what I mean? And thinking that they can come with some bullshit, you know, and then put it out there, and then them record companies and them institutions that push that shit, and I don't know, I just find it really sickening. And at the moment I just listen to the underground stuff, you know. That's all I really check for. Jump Off TV, that gets a mention. YouTube, I'm always on that. MySpace is like crack right now. And my Yahoo, basically. Other than that, I do try to download a lot of free stuff using LimeWire. Big up LimeWire, love them thing. It is about respect, you know what I mean? Because that's what I love most in people. And it doesn't matter whether you're rich or whether you've got nothing, do you know what I mean? If you've got respect for yourself, do you know what I mean? You know, I have certain Rastafari brethren, you know what I mean? And them mans just have respect of self, you know? Respect, you know, that's the one. An acknowledgement of the Most High. I'd like to be remembered as someone who is an innovator and who is trying to spread joy, basically, and love. That's how I'd like to be remembered. Keeping going, really, you know what I mean? No matter what obstacles have faced me, you know what I mean? People very close to me have died, you know, and, you know, just to be able to just keep going, you know, and just to wield that that power, you know what I mean, from the ancestors. The idea of not doing well is just not cool. I don't like that, and I fight hard to not get into that space of not doing well. Work hard, yeah, and enjoy work. So actually, it's not about work hard and play hard. It's the two and the same thing. Enjoy your shit, man, and do good at it. Do the best that you can. Yes, I have haters. I believe that there are people that want to talk shit about me, you know. Um, and in a way, I guess that you're always going to get that. And actually, I have love for them anyway, you know what I mean? If you want to hate on me, it's all good. It just reminds me of where I'm at in my life, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, haters, I think, are. If you ain't got haters, basically, you ain't doing what. For me, is stereotypes. You know, people expect a certain way of being, you know what I mean? You know, just because of the way I dress, you know, the way I look. I'll walk into a situation like on some boardroom shit.